Here we go again. It's episode 80. Doesn't matter because there's nothing good this week. But hey, thanks for being here. This is Crowdfunding Countdown, or Clown Flounding Clown if you nasty. And welcome to the show where we take a look at every single board game leaving the crowdfunding space this week so you can see what games you desperately need to get in the 1 week remaining because late pledges aren't a thing. This is the news flash, news of the week. All late pledges have been canceled in perpetuity, and if you don't get it right now on crowdfunding, you'll never get the game ever again. That's right. It is a crisis that you need to just spend your money willy-nilly to solve. Welcome to the show. We really have a bad week this week. There's nothing notable this week, and that really grinds my gears because there were quite a few good ones last week. So just go watch last week's episode again, I guess. And only my true friends will stay here, such as the newest patron shout-out. I want to give a huge shout-out to Ricky. Thank you so much for jumping on board. And thanks to Jason and James for, bumping up to that year-long pledge. Just makes it easier. I always like to start these with a patron shout-out because, really, you're the reason I keep doing this. You're the reason I get up in the morning. You're the reason I have any reason to smile. It's all thanks to you. And your cold, hard cash. No, I really do appreciate that people get value out of these videos and value out of me clawing my way through the deluge of Kickstarters and game founders. And no, there's never anything on BackerKit. But, they try. They're here. I thought it was really funny that I saw BackerKit sponsored the Dice Tower's last crowd surfing, and they don't have anything. They don't have anything going on. You want to see? I was going to say this to the end. But you want to see what's going on BackerKit right now? Some plushies, just some plushies. There's an adventure for the Cypher system, whatever that is, and then some horror classics, some graphic novels. BackerKit. Just roll over and meld with GameFound, like the natural hierarchy of things should be. So let's get right into the week. As I said, it's a weird week. It really is a weird week, but there might be a couple in here that are worth talking about. I did 2 passes because I feel like I must be missing something, but they can't all be amazing weeks, and if they were, then you would have too many games and you wouldn't have enough time to play those games, right? Which I'm sure you don't have thanks to these sort of off weeks. This gives you a break from your buying and your spending habits and lets you really just relax and play the games that you already own instead of looking for the new hotness, right? All right, let's take a look at the week. Starting off, we're going to cover everything just because we might as well. That's what we're here for. Starting off with Reason for the Season, a combat card game where you take on the mantle of a holiday mascot and defeat Santa Claus to become the new reason for the season. Okay, that's pretty funny. That's a funny theme. I bet it's not going to be good, but I'm always willing to be surprised. I actually love this art. This is the different versions of Santa. That's very fun. All right, actually looks better than I expected, mainly because they said the words asymmetrical decks. You don't want all decks to be the same, right? That's what makes us all unique. Asymmetrical decks. So it's pretty simple. You draw some cards from your action deck. You play the cards in front of you. You can basically use them to attack, or you can use them to defend. You bolster up your defenses, and then you hit each other around the table, and then Santa will appear, and the first person to kill Santa is the reason for the season, or basically the last person standing. Well, not necessarily. Santa could kill you all, which is how Santa got to his position of power in the first place, and guaranteed that's what Santa is planning on doing if you come for Santa's title. He knows if you've been bad or good, and he knows every move that you're planning. That's why he's been sneaking into the chimneys every year. I mean, he only works 1 day a year, so all the other days of the year is just him plotting and planning to overthrow anyone coming for his throne and Mrs. Claus's milk and cookies. So let's see, 20 bucks, that's about right. 20 bucks for a card game, shipping 12 to the US, 20 to Canada, 30 to EU, so don't do it if you're not in the US. Honestly, kind of cute. Kind of cute little thing as far as these sort of take that card games go. I think it looks solid. If you like that and you like the art, check it out. That finishes Thursday, May 4th at 7:51. Moving along to Flutter. Prepare to set your hearts aflutter. I hope so. A vibrant tile-laying game for 2 to 5 players. A huge home run, says Derek F. Board Game Spotlight. Well, I've never seen somebody put a review in their tagline before, and that's how you know that this one is good. Tile laying, 29 bucks. All it takes to make a prairie, it takes a clover and one bee. That's all it takes, one clover and a bee. Well, Emily Dickinson, clearly you should stick with your writing. You need a few more blades of grass than that. I mean, like, all campaigns do this. I'm not picking on Flutter, but I love when the quotes are just rules, and then they put a well-known symbol beside it. So anytime there's any descriptor for the rules, you start to create this amazing, beautiful field as you put the flowers out. Yeah, that's the point of the game, is you're putting the flowers out on this field, and you're paying petals and getting pollen. See, it's everything I want a tile laying game to be. Should be with 2 E's, because you also play a bee. Here's the draft rules, close enough to the top of the page, but still about a third of the way down. The player who most recently marveled at the beauty of nature is the first player. Honestly, Flutter, you have set my heart aflutter. You have delivered on that promise with that first player distinction. Yes, give me more funny first player determinations. Have you marveled at the beauty of nature recently? Go outside and just look at a tree. Just look at a friggin' tree and think about where that started from and how that's gigantic now. Flowers are in bloom. All these colors are everywhere. Nature's magical. So is the internet, really. Literally everything is magical. When you think about it, literally everything is magical. Light, magic. Trees, magic. Butterflies, they're so small, delicate. They used to be bugs. It's magic. They used to be friggin' hairy worms, like me. It seems like I would always be first player in Flutter. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to establish right now. In any case that I play this game, I'm going first, and I got the video evidence to prove it. Name a thing. Name anything. And you know what I'll do? I'll tell you it's magical. Bees, magic. Flying around, flight. Right? Okay, I'm done with this bit. Oh, rotate sun. That's less exciting. Oh, okay, no, but may pay petals to skip stack. See, I was excited about this sun moving. This chooses what tile you get to put onto the board. And you see these little dots around here. I assume that's pollen. And you can pay petals to go around further if you want to pick the specific tiles. Actually, this seems pretty cool. And basically, a legal placement is you just have to match flowers, right? Make the picture make sense in terms of the flowers, and when you make matched flowers, you get petals, and when you make mismatched flowers, well, you have to spend petals in order to let that abomination slide in the eyes of Mother Nature. Yeah, that's one part of the theme that I didn't mention, is that Mother Nature is lording over you. Comes with a big sort of 60 feet, 60 inches cutout of Mother Nature, looking down her glasses at you saying, just so you can really feel her imposing presence. And it comes with 4 of them, too, so that everybody can look over their shoulder and see and really be terrified that you're gonna not have enough petals to make that weird flower. Oh, I see. And the little pollen symbols are what happens. Those are the pollen you get when you enclose it completely. You still have to pay petals. You have to pay petals for everything, but you want to enclose these sorts of things and get that pollen. And also, if your bee token is on the tile that was just enclosed, the person whose bee token that is gets some additional pollen as well. And if you make some empty space, you get to fill it with water and get additional pollen. Player with the most pollen wins. Yeah, you know what? I think this actually looks kind of neat. And for 29 bucks, 29 US, that's the price that feels okay. 40 bucks Canadian. I mean, it's just a simple little tile line game, but looks kind of neat. Oh, great. And completely eco-friendly as well. While some of the included components are necessarily made out of plastic, such as a transparent insert and general shrink wrapping, you don't need that, though. You can just get the binding, right? I think you can do it. I think you can do it without plastic if you really want to. Actually, you can, because Endeavor's doing that. Because Endeavor's all about conservation, and their whole box, you know, you can eat. It's made out of sugar or something like that. Endeavor's not this week, but it looks good. I had it up, again, to give a shout out, because I thought it looked good, and I thought I need to talk about one game that is good. I mean, I've played Endeavor Deep Sea. I played it with Alex when he was here in Toronto, and we had a good time. And I won by 2 points. So obviously I'm interested in it. But we'll talk about that in the week that it gets there, but that could be a potential shout out if nothing here looks good. But this actually looks quite nice. Shipping is going to be $14.50. So if you want it, it's $44.50 if you live in the US. Canada, it's going to be about 60 bucks Canadian, right? Which, yeah, that's expensive for just a bunch of tiles, but not outside the realm of purchasing. And honestly, this looks pretty solid. Anyway, if you're interested in that finishes Thursday, May 4th at 9 a.m. The most special of all days. May the 4th. Moving along, this is one that I skipped the first pass through and then added in because we didn't have that much stuff to talk about. But it's a trading card game, so naturally I don't want to talk about it. However, we're gonna gather a gang of monsters and use incredible depths of strategy. Oh, incredible depths of strategy to bring your friends to their knees in Monster Crown TCG. That's different than another game where you use some strategy and some special card abilities to bring your friends to their knees. Your group of 6 to 18 friends, and of course I'm talking about Spicify. But let's look at this, I guess. I don't even care. What is this? Clear Pokemon, the official trading card game of a definite Pokemon trading card game ripoff. You know what? You got me. You got me here. When your video starts out with you running down the street holding this mop person's hand, I don't care. I'm a simple man, okay? I have simple tastes, and I just love to see love, and they just seem like they're really in love, okay? And I love to support love. Let's just pause on that image. Very good. This might be an okay episode after all. Oh, Monster Crown is a reimagining of Studio Orum's indie monster taming RPG, Monster Crown. I didn't actually know this was a real thing. Look at that. If you like Pokemon, clearly go check this out because it's definitely the same thing. You gotta crown them all. See, monster types are not elemental. They're defined by temperament and physiology. So this rock, paper, scissors element of, you know, fire, water, earth is definitely not just fire, water, earth, shadow, and light. I'm sure it isn't. But basically it's going to cost you $35 US, $48 Canadian to get both themed decks to even be able to play this with your friends. And then they go the standard booster box route, which I hate. I don't know, I just don't see the point. Like, you can unlock so many booster packs and not get the things that you want. And then it's just a lottery or a gotcha or whatever they call them. This makes me not want to play this whatsoever, but I am interested in playing the, yeah, and in addition, they don't have shipping. No shipping information either on the campaign. Shipping will be calculated after and collected via backer kit. Yeah, good job. No, just if you're interested in this, go check out the Steam game, but, you know, funny video, so I'll give that to you, Monster Crown. But I can't give you anything else because you're too expensive and you're basic. But hey, if you're interested in that, check it out. Thursday, May 4th, 11:59 a.m. Moving along to another just ridiculous thing. How dare you, Awaken Realms? How much money have you made on this, Awaken Realms? $275,000 for all of these chunky collectible dice that you can upgrade your Awaken Realms games. And you know these aren't going to roll well, right? Like, the point of the dice is that they're not like metal hunks that'll damage your table. These giant minis, these things that you're going to put paint on. What is going on here? Resin manufactured dice, made out of resin. 21 dice for $80. Jeez, and you can also sun drop them. Like, I understand that people love dice. I cover a lot of dice campaigns on Crowdfunding Countdown because I know people love dice. And honestly, these are going to be really good quality because they're Awaken Realms and you're paying for that ginormous quality. They just seem completely absurd to me. Even in terms of readability, like this is the Nemesis die, which is now kind of 6-sided, even though it was a 10-sided dice before. Oh, looking to make your next game of Nemesis a little less challenging? Oh, it's an alternative noise dice. You know how you can do that? You just take a regular D6. Ready to up the ante? Now it's another alternative noise dice. So you can scale your dice. I mean, like, that seems fun and funny, and this is just so weird. But I just don't see how they're going to be readable. Right? Like, the problem with the Tainted Grail dials, even when you paint them or even when you got them sun dropped, the Tainted Grail dials, is that you can't read them. You can't read them instantly. And when you have a game and you have to take that step to pause and to see what was that was just happened, instead of having that initial instant feedback, it bogs the game down. It really does. So I actually think these will be a detriment to your game if you are going to purchase them. because I don't think you'll be able to see it because there's going to be so busy with everything else happening. High risk, high reward. I mean, that sounds like how Zach wants to play the gambler in our Etherfields campaign. Zach, turn away! Look away! You know what? I'm really happy for the people who are very happy about it, and I like this as a representation of that we all like weird, stupid things, and people will pay for them if you can figure out what people want. This emotions, how do they react to the scene? And you just have to interpret their face? Like, I think it's pretty cool, but I also think it might detract, it might not. But for the price, like, you gotta be rolling these dice every day. You better wake up, and this is how you check the weather outside, by rolling the dice, knowing that's the weather, and reacting to it. And deciding how you're going to feel that day, by rolling this dice. That's how you can get the use out of it, by doing that sort of thing. Just nutty. It's like $45 or $80. Plus shipping. Good, it's not too bad. Shipping's pretty good, about $5 to get to anywhere, so that's pretty nice. Just so absurd, but check it out if you want. That finishes also May 4th at 11 a.m. Moving along to Curio Black 1962. Bid on rare curios, inventions, and deals before escaping atomic annihilation. No idea what this is, but it's a game, and it's on Kickstarter, so your girl's gonna look at it. I mean, this is one of those where 78 backers have spent $8,000, right? So quick math means everyone has spent, on average, more than $100, which means it's somebody bankrolling this, especially when they only have one pledge over $100, it's $150, 0 backers. How do we get to that number? Someone is generous on making someone's dreams come true, or they're hoping that it is more funded, and that will encourage people to back it, and then it'll cancel, right? Like, that's why I'm always pretty skeptical about that, even before we go into the actual game itself. Rulebook close to the top of the page, though. Love that. Let's check that out. Pretty small. Yeah, 7 pages. Easy. All right, so it's auctioning with a twist. $50 is too much for it, but it's pretty simple. You'll have a little event track depending upon the number of players, and you move the event token, up here, depending on the number of players. You move the event token each time, then you start an auction, you bid on it, bid whatever you want, and then you get to do some actions. Those actions are either take a card, like intrigue cards, which give you special abilities. You can play an intrigue card, you can discard cards to get more money back, those sorts of things. It seems kind of neat. There's also this voting and killing section where you can potentially just kill someone and eliminate them from the game, which I kind of like, that those events might occur, and then if you haven't pieced out yet, people could murder you. So it's kind of like an ink and gold push your luck style, but honestly, if you just want that, you should play ink and gold, which is very fun. There's also this exiting the market. There's going to be a big bomb when it gets to the end of the track, so you can leave before that and you save everything that you have. You've retreated with all of your stuff, but you can't bid for more stuff. But the first person to leave gets an additional bonus, so it's kind of timing that out as well. Seems okay, but $50 was like $69 Canadian, and then you've got to factor shipping into that. This is why this isn't doing well. If this was $25, I think this could actually do very well. But then again, you know, it may not have gotten double the 47 backers. And there's no shipping information. 0 shipping information, saying it's going to be through the US Postal Service and they'll just charge you shipping, so that's a horrible idea, and another reason why you shouldn't get this. I mean, it's fine. They do say I'm an amateur game designer. Unfortunately, do not have the capital or following to partner with a more extensive shipping service. I'll do everything I can to ensure costs are as low as they can be. That's all well and good, but you don't even have like a ballpark figure. You should look up for your backers. You should say, hey, here are some major cities. Here is what it would cost me to send something to those major cities in both US and Canada, which are the only places it can ship to, so people can get a ballpark figure of what it is. I mean, that's rather than just saying, hey, backers, sorry, spend $50 on my game, and then probably an additional 20 to 30, depending if the shipping or the postal service feels sassy that day. Because I can tell you, shipping to Canada from the US, you don't want to do it. You just don't. But if you're interested in that, that's also May the 4th at 12 p.m. noon. Moving along to The Secret of Eldorado, the print-and-play escape game. Help the expedition find the mythical city of Eldorado in this printable escape room. I think that's kind of neat. This is what made me take note, is that it's a print-and-play escape room, in which case it's just going to be a bunch of puzzles, right? Now that I actually think about it, there are plenty of print-and-play escape rooms. You just print out a bunch of puzzle sheets and you say, haha, solve them, you win. But we like print and plays. I like highlighting print and plays because you've made it known that you enjoy hearing about them. So it's a 90-minute long printable escape room to play with your friends with a companion app. So it's a cheaper unlock. If you like escape rooms, €3, $5 Canadian. This is the cheapest sort of escape room you're going to get. And you get these 8 sheets and a companion app and a rule book. Honestly, this seems great. This seems absolutely great. For the price, print it home, play your little puzzles. It's $5 and it's cheaper than any unlock or any escape room. That's all you really have to say about it. Thursday, May 4th at 12:30 p.m. That's the front runner right now. Look at these little graphs on there. Come on. Those look like fully realized puzzles. They better be this. This better not be a graphic. If that's a graphic, I'm going to lose it. You cannot escape from our gratitude. Yeah, very minimal comments and updates, really showing you nothing at all. But I think for a €3, there are worse ways you could spend €3 and $5. So check that out. That's May 4th at 12:30 p.m. Moving along to Julius Caesar, the Enhanced Edition. One of Board Game Geek's top war games of all time gets an improved look. A terrific combat system and built-in fog of war makes the game. Now, I skipped this the first time I was going through, and I added it in because I felt I didn't have enough stuff to talk about. And then now we're, hours and hours into the episode, I'm sure. And I realized that I hate war games. Board Game Geek top 50 war games. So there are lots of war games. War 42. This is what it is. It's the 42nd. It is the secret to the meaning of life. With the top one being War of the Ring. Is that a war game? I think war gamers are probably mad that War of the Ring is up there. Star Wars Rebellion isn't. Anyway, let's take a look at what this is. Is this the way to get into wargaming? I mean, this is an even worse ratio of backers to price point raised, like 17,000 US and 114 backers. So it's average 150, right? Alexa, what's 17,734 divided by 114? 0.5614. 155. God, I'm good. And still very humble. I'm sorry. It's $89 US, or you can get this epic neoprene mat for an additional $100 US. In what world does a neoprene mat, I don't care that it's 48 by 26, in what world does that cost $100 to produce? It doesn't. It just doesn't. Neoprene mats, I have heard from some publishers, are the cheapest things to produce, sometimes. Some of the cheapest aspects of things to produce. And that the markup on them is the best markup, and people make most of their profits there. So that's clearly how you can make most of your profits if you just want to donate to this card system. Oh, okay, this is cool. So these are the blocks to promote the fog of war, right? You just get to place chips face down, or facing you and not somebody else. That's cool. That's the best way to do fog of war, I think. That's an easy way of tracking the strength of forces. That seems cool. Picture of a Julius Caesar statue for good measure. Yeah, why not? Free shipping with all add-on shipping free. That's nice. But like, look at this. Another $100 map for some desert. Jesus. You know what you can get for that $100 instead of a mat? You can throw in an additional $50 and get the lowest tier at the World Series of Board Gaming. Now, okay, I don't want to point this out here. It seems like Julius Caesar has gotten into bed with big board gaming, okay? Move over, Big Pharma. Normally you want to hide your association with big insert name here, but they're just laying it all out for everyone to see that they have been influenced completely by big board gaming. Yeah, sure, big board gaming would say there's some nice layers and depths to certain strategic elements that give the game some real heft and add to replayability. Yeah. Yeah, of course, when big board gaming is lining their pockets filled with neoprene. You know big board gaming is just the Monopoly man, combined with the Mr. Peanut, so you can get the monocle, and then with a suit lined with neoprene. That's how big board gaming, that's how the CEO of big board gaming operates and runs around. And it's great because there's no rule book. It says learn the rules in a 36-minute video, but there's no rule book, just $100 for neoprene mats. Aren't we glad we covered this? I'm sure we are. let's move along to Paperback 10th Anniversary and Typewriter. Paperback celebrates 10 years, a new edition, and its expanded and updated new travel word game Typewriter can go with you anywhere. Paperback I've heard good things about. It's an award-winning deck-building word game. That sounds fun. Let's check it out. Very charming video from Tim Fowers. I've been interested in Tim Fowers' designs ever since Burgle Bros won the co-op deathmatch about a year ago now. Typewriter is this new game. We'll cover them both as long as there's the rule books. And they got a bunch of different artists to do new designs for the book covers, which is kind of cool. Rules, almost halfway down the page in a very easy to miss link. This is cool. I always thought this looked cool, and it still looks cool. The basic premise is, in order to play, it's a deck builder, but in order to play your hand, you have to make a word out of them. And so then you're purchasing additional letters to add into your deck that you draw and you play. This honestly looks like so much fun. And then you can score. You get the score for every letter that you play. So they all have different abilities, or some have different abilities. You can get additional letters into your deck, and then you can get these fame cards, which are wild cards, and they cost a lot to get and are worth a bunch of points too. There's also a co-op mode, and there's now a solo mode in this edition as well. Oh, and this is cool. This is a new sort of additional expansion. These genres, you get to use them twice. When you put 2 cubes on them, you get to flip them, and then you get a permanent passive ability. That sounds awesome. It really does. The deadline variant lets you play quicker because you just start with 12 more cards. There's now a solo mode. Cool. And then you can get a super deluxe version, which this is just absurd. These little books, that's kind of cool. Rulebook is here for Typewriter as well. That's cool. It's not cool. It's necessary. It's necessary. Completely necessary. Typewriter seems interesting as well, to an extent. I like bananagrams, and it reminds me of that. You're basically creating a word, and as long as you use your 4 starting letters in every word you create, you can score a letter. You can see the points for the letter. You put it underneath something, and that'll help you keep track of what you scored. You can't use it for later on. Then you get additional letters that you're going to have to make more words with, and trying to score the letters over a number of rounds. Kind of neat. Paperback seems much more interesting to me. And for this, I kind of would just rather play bananagrams, especially because Typewriter is 29 US, 40 Canadian. No thanks. But Paperback, the 10th anniversary edition, 32 bucks US, 44 Canadian, and $8 to get for shipping. So be like 50 bucks. That's not undoable, you know? And a lot of, I feel, Tim Fowers games don't end up in retail. Like Burgle Bros sold out. Oh, Paperback Unabridged. 23 bucks Canadian. See, this is why you look. Do I need the... Well, that changes a lot of things. In stock, 3 units. So I could pay 23 bucks Canadian, or I could pay 44 plus shipping, 50. I could play double on here for this 10th anniversary edition. Probably don't need to. Might just get this, though. Like, Paperback does look pretty fun. We're kind of jumping to the pick for me, but there you go. I legitimately might get that for 23 bucks. That seems fun. Yeah, anyway, that campaign finishes also on Star Wars Day, May 4th, 7:05 p.m. Let's keep moving to Dungeon Pop. I just clicked on this because I thought it kind of looked cool. The immersive pop-up tabletop RPG battle mats. If you wanted some things to pop up, this is one thing that does this. Somebody, I think it was Zach, who got a book of like pop-up terrain recently. Was it Zach? I don't know. It was somebody I know, and I feel like I only see Zach. So, was it Kevin? Who can tell? But yeah, there you go. You just get a bunch of little pop-up maps you could purchase with some additional features. The Broken Tower, the Forsaken Ruins, but they all cost money though. 24 bucks. Pick any one pop-up is 28 bucks, 68, so $93 for like 3 of them. I mean, they seem fun, but that feels expensive to me. Depends how much you like this environment and how much this environment would work, because then it's fixed, right? When it's a pop-up map, you kind of can only use it in that one orientation, and I don't know how dynamic that would actually be, but worthwhile mentioning in case that interests some of you. That finishes also May 4th at 12:59 p.m. Moving along to Peppers, a friendly card game with a little spice. I think we all know why I clicked on this. This is not, unfortunately, going to fund. And maybe if it had gone the route of another spicy game, It might have. It looks like basically they took the same color as Spicify. I mean, there's no information here. Zero information at all. No wonder it's not funding. You know what, Peppers? Maybe go take a look at Spicify and see what you could have done differently with this theme. This also reminds me of a great text that I got from Zach the other day, who said, "I cut jalapeno peppers and rubbed my eyes. There is no recovering from this disaster." All right, let's move along to what looks like an actual game. I hope. It's definitely got a font that I'm interested in, and that means it's gonna be good. This is Taiwan Night Market. Make your fortune bidding for crucial stall locations to sell delicious street food. Is this gonna dethrone Chinatown? As it's only just made its way into my collection, we'll see. Not finishing May the 4th. Let's check this out. I take it back. I take it back. I was hoping we'd still have one good thing before we ended, but it doesn't look like it. Where's the rulebook? Do we have a rulebook? Or do we just have that janky how to play? Rules. There we go. Third down the page. Third down the page. That's what I said what I said. This doesn't seem as bad as I expected it to be. It's still just okay, though. You're going to be bidding on these stall locations, and if you win the bid, you then get to place a little market down there. And all the markets have different colors. Customers want different things, so they'll walk by yours if they don't like your color. If they want a little drink, well, they're not going to stop at your sausage stand. And depending who you are, maybe nobody will stop at your sausage stand. Speaking from personal experience, I really thought Chris's smelly sausage would that business would take off, but it really, I'm still recovering from it. You know, that's what the all-play villain, Nasty Chris, started out as, a sausage salesman. I'm fairly certain that's what happened. Anyway, you're going to reveal your customers, and then they're going to walk down these paths, and the first booth that they see with the thing, they go in. So basically, if you get booth number 1, you win. It's kind of how that feels, but it feels a bit better because in some other rounds, some other people might come along this way and get more booths over here. And then if you get 2 things next to each other, you can make a bigger booth and you get more money. Person with the most money wins. It seems okay, but also the bidding feels weird because it's just like, hey, everybody bids, but if you were outbid, well, then you get to bid again and outbid somebody else. And I want people to be outbid, like make it an actual decision-making process. I don't know. Yeah, here's a better view of the board. You can see the routes at which these people will take, so everybody will hit up some customers at some point. It seems all right. What's the price point? For 42 US, though, 58 Canadian, plus shipping. What's shipping going to be? Just horrible to get to North America. If you're in Taiwan, though, Taiwan, this is doable. Hence, Taiwan Night Market. You might be interested. If you're anywhere else, I think this is a bad idea. So, sorry, Taiwan Night Market. I'm not interested in attending your booth. But if you are, check that out. The finish is Saturday, May 6th at 8:44 a.m. Let's keep it moving, I guess. I'm just like, this is not going to be good either. Am I wasting your time here? I don't know. I'm enjoying hanging out with you. I am. No, I mean, it's fun video, but again, this is just one of those games where it's a big take that fest. If you want to build a bunker, you want to build yourself up, you want to burn down other people's bunkers. Everybody just wants to be the last person standing. That's not my style. I'm moving on. Let's move on to this one, which seems like it could be interesting. Maybe there's something here. Come on, Tactigon, let's finish us off. There are 2 ways to win and nowhere to hide in this all-new strategy game. Simple rules, simple setup, deep tactics, be ruthless. Okay, well, you told me to be ruthless, so here it comes. If you haven't been paying attention to the last bit of the crowdfunding countdown, it's coming. The ruthlessness is here. The perfect blend of tactics between checkers and chess that takes 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I think there's something here. Where strategy meets geometry. Where this meets that. It's Tactigon. When tactics meets a hungry Artie. Hi, buddy. Pretty good video, pretty good explanation. I assume you want to claim both of these yellow circles. Maybe. You told me everything except the point. But yeah, I like this. What I do like about this is this sort of iconography. Is that triangles have 3 sides, so they can move 3 spaces. Squares have 4 sides, so they can move 4 spaces. Circles are big old lumps, and they can move 1 space at a time. but there's a hierarchy of who can kill who. The circles can kill anything if they attack. So basically, if you move, yeah, that seems kind of cool. If you move your circle into another circle, you can take it out. If you move your triangle into a circle, you can take it out, but your triangle dies. And if you move your square, well, you can't move your square into a circle because it's got that mobility. Oh, and the pentagon can only kill the pentagon. And there's 2 ways to win. Occupy both yellow tiles at the end of your opponent's turn. At the end of your opponent's turn, that makes sense. Or capture the opposing pentagon. Yeah, you know what? This looks cute. $39 US, a bit pricey for what it is. I feel like you could just print this out yourself. You know what the board looks like. Just get a bunch of different symbols and try it out to see if you like it. You can even see the setup here, which is going to be the same thing every time. Protect your pentagon. But I think this actually looks kind of interesting. So it'd be $54 to get to the US, $64 US, like almost $100 to get to Canada. No. I think you could really print your own copy of this, but if you want to support them, I think this looks like a fun little abstract game. And if you like that abstract 2-player head-to-head abstract game, well, check this one out that finishes Monday, May 8th at 11 a.m. I'm very happy we finished off on that. I got a whole bunch of other tabs here. I was going to talk about Endeavor Deep Sea. We kind of did, but we'll talk about that. And another thing, we talked about the garbage over on BackerKit. Like, why do you exist? Just get it together. Am I starting to hate BackerKit as much as I hate Queen Games? I have no reason to. Well, I do have a few reasons to, in terms of like any accessibility, any selection of any kind. What do you offer your audience? Like, what are you doing better other than having a weird page for people to find hard to navigate? That's probably why I dislike BackerKit, because the user interface is garbage. Hey, do you want to sponsor this show? Probably not. But if you do, let me know, and then I'll keep my opinion the same. But there was a whole lot of nothing this week. Stuff I didn't cover was Golden Island Pong with a twist, because it's just, oh, here's the twist. You don't have to drink alcohol. Guess what? That was always the twist. Or in case you like your pornography in sculpture form, you can always get a lot of that when you're going on the tabletop tab on Kickstarter. And there's something for everybody with if you want your pornography in sculpture form. And as gnomes, well then Kickstarter also has you covered. Or there was this pop-up mystery book where there were 40 copies left, and why would I bother covering it when there's only 40 left? Good job. I'm sure people will enjoy this. If you want a pop-up thing where you get to look at stuff that's kind of mystery-ish, check out the game The Shivers, or there's another game, Terror Escape, which I think will be finishing in the next week, unless it's not going to fund. So there we go. Those are all my tangential tabs. Thanks for still sticking with me. Every week I do have a pick for me and a pick for you, and this week is no different. I mean, the 2 best games this week, let's be real, it's Paperback. That's my pick for me, because I'm interested in getting it for $23 Canadian at my local store. And honestly, pick for you, you know what? I'm going to shout out Flutter. I think Flutter actually looks pretty decent in terms of the tile laying aspect, but again, it's kind of the best of a not very interesting bunch. Pick for you is, remember that you don't have to buy anything ever. You just have to watch. You have to, it's the law. You have to tune into Crowdfunding Countdown every week and subscribe and hit the like button, or else the police will come to your door and arrest you. But other than that, you don't have to purchase everything anytime. And somebody brought up in our Discord recently a really good point that I want to highlight and kind of end this episode with. The sense that at retail or going into a store and buying a game for like $200 or an expensive price point feels like a big ask. It does. For me, spending any money at any time is always a big ask. I say this as somebody who's probably going to need to get a new computer for editing purposes, and I'm going to get a new camera soon. There's one that's going to come out. I'm very excited to have the camera just like here affixed so that I can always plug it in. Even though I need to purchase this for actual work, oh, it's enormously difficult for me to do. But even going into a store and spending money is generally very hard for me to do because I'm stingy and I'm always aware of my budget, and I'm aware of, you know, making sure that I can stay alive and continue to eat food and enjoy the lifestyle that I have as a lazeabout who just wants to play board games all day. I'm just kidding. I don't lazeabout. I work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. But that's neither here nor there. I only have 3 jobs now. It's fine. I used to have 6 or 7. But the thing, like, so I know I'm an anomaly that spending anything, anytime, anywhere, even on essentials, it pains me. But there is something to be said, and Artie will agree with me, right, buddy? You do agree with me, yeah. Don't spend money on your food. It's almost time for Artie's dinner, but maybe he'll be nice. He won't be. He won't be. There is something to be said about how much more difficult it is to spend money. Yeah, I'm trying to be serious about like spending habits, and this friggin' camera hog is going to take all the attention. That's good. Let's get a focus on him. That's better. Spending money, you know, at crowdfunding is always going to be easier than spending it in retail. And that's why I try to beat that drum over and over again is, would you buy it at retail? And would you buy it at retail for the cost, which includes shipping? And oftentimes the answer is no. And I think that's okay because the bar for purchasing should be high. It should be high. It should be high. Hi, buddy. That's what it should be. It should be high. And I think there are too many great games out there that you haven't purchased to warrant purchasing a good game at crowdfunding unless you're particularly attached to the company or particularly attached to helping that company succeed. And if it's a good game, yeah, get it. But like, wait, no, sorry. If it's a great game, get it. But save it for those great games. Save it for the games that really excite you and not ones that you think are, just fine. Like for me, Flutter is one where it's just, just fine. Sure, it's the pick for you, just so I can have an arbitrary pick for you, but it's just fine. It's not going to make me take off all my clothes and cover myself in red pepper jelly and run screaming through the streets. And that's what I want all of my game nights to devolve into. And that's why I talk about Spicify so much. Sorry, Devilish Dice. You're in there too. Let's get it back on Artie. Anyway, Artie would like to say, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you are backing, what you're excited about, or any new acquisitions that arrive that you're excited to get to the table. We both would be interested in that. I appreciate you being here. I really do. That's just my sort of thought to end the day, which I think is worth reminding ourselves about. I definitely need the reminder sometime. Oh, come on. We can't keep Artie so out of focus. I definitely need the reminder. And now I can see you pretty boy. I definitely need the reminder. And so that's why I figured I'd end on that note. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna get Artie some dinner. Yes, I am. Yeah, you heard me. My name's Chris George, and you know what? I don't have a catchphrase, but I do have a hungry cat. Didn't even make sense. Newsfeed? More like cat feed. I understand. I understand that you subscribed just recently, and now it's time to click that button, and I get it. But I appreciate you being here. 11K! We're doing it. We're moving up in the world, and I just love y'all. Okay, bye.